Hey, what's going on? It's Max Nazaire here at Safe Haven Fitness in Roswell, Georgia, helping you own the process of your fitness and wellness goals. I want to talk to you today about the things that I've done to alleviate my plantar fasciitis and the foot pain that I will have, right? So before I start going into it, let me give you some background. I was a track and field athlete back in the day, and being a track and field athlete, I ran a lot of miles and I was on my feet all of the time, right? And we're talking about anywhere from 60 to 80 mile weeks, right? So as a result, I just took a pounding on my foot. And because of that, I developed a lot of foot challenges as well as plantar fasciitis, right? And also because I was running all the time, for one reason or another, I was just always tight. And no matter how much I stretched, everything was just always so tight. So over the years, I learned my body. I learned how to work with other people's bodies just by, trial and error and doing some things. And I finally figured out some really key things that works for me and has worked for my clients in terms of being able to address plantar fasciitis and all kinds of other foot issues, right? So first things first, let's understand what plantar fasciitis is. Really what it is, to keep it really simple, is inflammation of the footbed, right? So we're talking about under the foot. If I can take off my shoe real quick, and when you talk about the bottom of the foot, that bed just being inflamed, right? So inflammation is just another fancy word for swelling and discomfort, right? So that's what's going on, and that's being caused from that footbed being pulled on too tight. So think about a guitar string, right? When it's really taut and you try to pluck it and how it's just so tight, that's what's happening near the bottom. And that's because you have your plantar area here, and then you have the heel, and then attached to that heel, you have what we call the Achilles tendon, right? And then attached to the Achilles tendon, you have the soleus, which is like the bottom part of the calf, and then the gastrocnemius, just for a quick anatomy physiology lesson, right? So you have all these things acting on the bed of the foot, and that's causing that inflammation, that pain, right? So there's a couple of ways that I've addressed it and helped other people in the past. First things first, you want to do whatever you can to reduce the inflammation. So this is where ice is really influential in this, right? So you can either take a couple of ice cubes and you can roll under that foot, or you could take an ice tub or ice bucket and then put your foot in there. I wouldn't recommend anything more than 15 minutes. 15 minutes is just enough time to do it. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but I promise you, after about the first 2-3 minutes, it actually feels pretty good if you're suffering from some type of inflammation. So I will go that route first, right? And then the next thing you want to do is you want to start acting on those things that's pulling on the bottom of that footbed that we discussed before, right? So this is where you can start doing things like stretching out the calf muscles. Yeah, definitely, by stretching out that calf muscle, right? Because when that calf muscle gets really tight, or any muscle for that matter gets tight, it starts pulling on other muscles. And when you have muscles that are pulling on other muscles, that's what causes the inflammation and the swelling, right? So by stretching out those calf muscles, it alleviates those other muscles, and now can take off the pressure off of that footbed at the bottom of the foot, right? So that's the next step you want to do. You want to make sure you're stretching out the calf muscles by doing some different stretches, and that, again, that'll alleviate some of the pressure. And then what you want to do now is you want to start doing some foam rolling, right? So you can foam roll and massage the calf muscles, because where you may not be able to get it through the stretching, now through the massage you can get deeper and penetrate some layers to be able to, again, to alleviate that tension. And then also with the plantar fasciitis addressing the foot and the footbed, you can start utilizing some foam rolling and some percussive massages as well, and that will go a long way towards being able to take that pressure off. So again, we've learned that tight muscles pull on other muscles, and other muscles will cause tension and inflammation throughout the body. We know that we want to stretch not only the calf muscles, but also figuring out ways to massage the calf muscles. We want to make sure that we're utilizing ice to reduce the inflammation and to take that pressure off the foot. And then last but not least, we want to make sure that we're using percussive massages and we're foam rolling the foot. Not with a foam roller, but utilizing some type of air spray can of some sort, something that's small that you can roll under your foot. Tennis balls work really well. I've even used a paint roller. It's a little bit softer, but that can do the job as well. But be creative in being able to utilize a foam roller for the foot. We find a foam roller is too big for most people to be able to get the benefits out of that. So if you're able to put those things together, that will go really well. And then also for those of you who are extra tight, we find that dynamic stretching works better than static stretching. The difference between the two, dynamic stretching, you use the movement to be able to stretch out those muscles, versus static stretching is when you stretch and you hold it for an extended period of time, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. If the best you can do is just doing the static stretching, that's fine. If you ever want to go a different route and utilize some dynamic stretching, and that's worked well for me, especially because when I was a runner, I was so tight all the time, definitely hit me up. You can send me an email, find me on social media, give our team a call, and I'd love to be able to walk you through some of those things. I may even shoot a video out of it, who knows. But that's about it. Hope that helps. Let me know how it goes. Take care, God bless, and remember to own the process. Safe Haven Fitness.